of all, you need to be aware that you have no guarantees what's going to happen over here. If you were working with a trained chorus, you would have an idea of what kind of response they would give you. But in leading God's people, we don't have a trained chorus, and we don't even really want one. We want people from all walks of life. We don't want just musicians. So, it's very important that we think and understand, when do we really take control of the singing? What is it that we can do to affect the entire congregational singing? So I'm going to return to my little podium here, and we'll talk about a few little tricks that you can use to really help the congregation in their singing. You first begin to have control, which means responsibility, as a song leader when you start the song. Now, this involves something as simple as saying which song you're going to sing, and then you are the one who gets to start the song. This is the moment at which the responsibility is placed on you as a song leader. Now, physically, what you need to do to get the song started is make sure, or at least try, because as we said, we don't have a trained chorus, but as much as possible, get the attention of those who you're about to lead. This means looking up. This means not staring down at a songbook, but it means making eye contact with the people that you see and preparing to lead. One thing you can do to get people's attention is raise your hand. Now, for everyone to start together, you don't want to just go, just start. This is something you can do if you want, and people, of course, will follow. But with a little training, you can learn how to have everyone start together. And part of this is helping people breathe. Physically, as we've said, this is the physical side. You have to breathe before you start singing. So, we're going to learn how to indicate to people that they can breathe. First of all, with your hand up, lift your hand up like this. Trained chorus, that will work. Untrained, maybe not. Let's do as much as we can here. Hand up, head up, and what am I doing also? I'm modeling the breathing. And I'm exaggerating it. So when you do this, it's quite funny to watch sometimes, because people automatically breathe. If you do that, they automatically do as well. And all of a sudden, you're working together. You're doing something at the same time. Also, you can use your facial expression as you, let me zoom in here. Something like that wakes people up, and you will be surprised, they automatically breathe. You can even get a little foot action going, the toes, and people automatically breathe. This is how you start a song. I want to be a worker for the Lord, etc. This is when you have control. We're going to talk about, there are two important parts of a song when you have control, and those are beginnings and endings. Before we get to endings, though, I would like to talk a little bit more about the beginning and what you think about when you start the song. There are two very important things, and perhaps even more, that you do when you start the song. You decide how the song is going to move ahead. And again, this is one step ahead. You think about this before you start. You decide the volume of the song. If you start singing, when I survey the wonder, what did I do? I decided not to sing very loud. Or I could say, I want to be a worker for the... What did I decide? I decided two things. The volume of the song, that is something that you decide. And I also decide the speed of the song. Now, a lot of people ask me questions about this, so I'd like to walk over here and jump into the realm of classical music real quick, and then we'll jump back. I'm a violinist and a public music school teacher by trade, so I have a little experience in some of these classical terminologies. I'm going to talk to you really quickly about speed, about tempo we call it, which is the Italian word for time. How fast or slow should a song move? I always get this question, so let me just throw out some things really quick. Presto is Italian for very fast. Allegro means happy, or alegre we say in Spanish, so we recognize that one. It's a tempo that moves pretty fast. Moderato, as you can probably tell, is the Italian for moderate. Not too fast, not too slow. When we get to andante, this is a walking tempo, and you would be surprised actually how slow a walking tempo feels when you sing it. It's when we start to say that the song sounds slow. We can get into even slower tempos, such as adagio. You may have heard an adagio before. Famous adagio. Moving a little slower, and finally we get to largo, which is very slow. Sometimes conductors even do what is called subdividing, and instead of counting in 1, 2, 3, 4, they'll say 1 and 2 and famous symphony by Dvorak. 1 and 2. Very slow, but beautiful. And by the way, sometimes when we hear songs, people say that's too slow. What they mean is it's dragging. They mean there's a lack of intensity. Because actually slow is not bad at all. Slow can be beautiful and intense and wonderful. But this is just a quick crash course on this stuff. But why do I put it up here? Because I want to ask you, when is the last time you saw it in your songbook? You don't see it. So people always ask me, although you might see it in just a very few songs, people always ask me, you know, how fast should I take a song? Guess what? It's up to you. And so you need to decide, before you even start that song, you need to be one step ahead. You need to know how you want it to sound, and you need to decide the speed. It's your job. Don't wait for the congregation to tell you, because some people will tell you one thing, some will tell you another, and we no longer have one voice. You decide the speed of the song. And if the congregation knows what they're supposed to do, they will follow you. Which again is why we encourage you to watch that video, guaranteed to improve your congregation singing, because it's so important they follow you. Otherwise, the congregation will go different directions and will be lost. So, you set the volume, you set the tempo, the speed, you set the entire feel of the song. It's all up to you, and you need to go up there and humbly and confidently start that song, because the beginning of the song is yours. What happens after that, you can't always be sure, but the beginning is yours. Now, let's talk about the ending.